Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Peace Jones. Don't forget to like this video, to comment on this video, and to subscribe to this channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been rocking out with me, thank you so much. You're the GOAT. So I wanted to do a quickest possible video rolling out of my 30th year. And now I'm officially locked into the 30s. I will be 31 soon. Big Aries season, period. So I just wanted to talk about what I've learned in my 30th year, how the year went, my expectations rolling into 31, and just do like a recap on the age of 30 because it is a milestone age. I know for me turning 30, it was just like, amazing. Like, of course, you always know, God willing, that you're going to make it to your 30s. But once you make it there, it's just a different feeling. Like 25 was awesome, but 30 is like this year of security for me. I felt turning 30 was just like so, I don't even know the word to describe it, but it just felt so amazing, so good. And not to mention that my 30th birthday, I felt celebrated to the utmost extent. Like all of my friends showed up and showed out. I got really nice gifts. I had like 600 celebrations. I just felt like 30 was just rolling into 30. It was amazing. So a recap of my year. I feel like 30 has been great. I feel like I've done a lot of what I set out to do. I feel like I did a lot with the year, right? So I did a lot of like personal work. I took care of a lot of things that I said I wanted to. I made a lot of changes. I got to do a lot of things, not necessarily bucket list because I don't really have a bucket list, but I got to do a lot of things that I had been wanting to do. Wrapped up some loose ends, cut off or ended some things that I didn't think benefited me anymore. Took on some new mindsets, really worked on or nourished certain things that I felt needed it. I just feel like I was very productive, if that makes sense. Like, it's weird to say a year was productive, but I feel like I really got a lot done. Like, it was a really good year. Now, things that stand out to me, I would say at 30, I definitely locked into setting those boundaries. As you guys know, I went back to therapy in my 30th year, and I was able to really understand a lot more about boundaries, why I didn't have any, what was causing me to kind of just go with the flow, I guess, of what people wanted me to do or whatever. People pleasing and stuff like that. So I feel like I had set out to set boundaries previously, but I guess because I didn't really have a good grasp on why I was so willing to just people please and go with what other people wanted, I didn't really stick to it. But once I got down to the bottom of it in therapy, now I'm able to really stick through it. And I can even catch myself sometimes where I'm like, just about to fold, just about to do something that I don't feel comfortable doing, but I know it would please someone else. And then I'm like, no. Now, obviously, I'm still reasonable. Like, in life, you have to do certain things you don't want to. When it comes to relationships of any kind, whether it be at work, a spouse, a friend, there's sometimes you'll have to flex and do things that you don't necessarily want to do. But when it comes down to like jeopardizing your safety or jeopardizing like what truly at your core does not feel comfortable for you, then yeah, you don't have to do it. And I've learned to stop doing those things. I also have really gained a amazing sense of self-worth when it comes to dating. I ended some things with some people that had been going on for years, and it was just kind of like that, you know, back and forth, fall off, get back. And not that these people were bad, you know. I like to think I don't associate with or date horrible men, but of course some of their actions aren't so great. But I think at 30, well, not I think, I know at 30 what I want, what I deserve. And while in your 20s and your teens, it's actually kind of fun to have those like on and off situations. You break up and you get back with this person. This person might get a significant other. If it doesn't work out, y'all come back. All those feelings rush back, those memories, those fun little things you used to do together. And it's cool. But then at 30, you're like, I just don't have time for these meaningless back and forth, no certainty. Where is this going? How do you really feel about me? Type of situations. So I happily and kindly got rid of those. Not that I dislike the people, not that if they ever needed me, they couldn't call me, but I'm just not here for that type of engagement anymore. I also feel like I gained a huge sense of validation. And maybe that's not the right word. Maybe like confirmation. That's the word. I gained a bunch of confirmation from various people in various places this year. So I think I may have mentioned in a video prior that I feel like for my age, I've always been very wise. Now that's because my grandmother raised me, who's like 3 generations older than me. So obviously when you're raised by an older person, you kind of like develop mindsets that younger people don't have, or you are privy to things a lot quicker, or the way that you like process things is a bit different than people that were like raised by obviously a younger adult. Also, it may just be like a part of my personality. Like I'm very logic based. And so when I look at situations, topics, concepts, I tend to really come from a logical place and not so much like emotional. I noticed that in today's world, like a lot of things are emotion based, even things that you wouldn't think. Like even in the workplace, a lot of things are emotion based. Friendships, even just going to the grocery store, interacting with people, it seems like a lot of things are determined by emotions. I can get more into that in another video if you guys aren't understanding what I'm saying. But basically, I more so operate off of logic. So I kept realizing going through my 20s, like when I would, have beliefs about things or opinions about things, or I would even like stand my ground and say like, hey, I don't do this. Hey, I don't feel comfortable with this. Hey, I don't want to do this. I felt like I was always that friend that maybe had those unpopular opinions, or maybe was like looked at like, oh, you're a little bit uptight for operating like that. And obviously throughout life, I've met people that have very similar, or if not the same, viewpoints and like stands on things. But overall, I kept noticing that I would stand out with these certain mindsets and things. But at 30, when I tell you, nothing but confirmation. I mean, I've had conversations with strangers about certain topics and they're like, no, I feel the same way. Like, I think the same way. I've always felt this. I may watch like a TikTok video on a certain topic, 4, 5, 6 different people totally in agreement of how I feel. I may be talking to a friend, the topic randomly comes up, they tell me their opinion, exactly what I've been saying for 10 years. I may be, I don't know, at the park, stumble across some old woman walking her dog. We get to talking about it. She's like, no, I totally agree. So I think at 30, it's either that people are growing wiser, or maybe you just shed the people that don't have the same mindset. I don't know, because like I don't feel like everyone around me has to validate me. I don't feel like everyone around me has to agree with me, because I certainly have friends that we totally disagree on many topics and we're still cool. But I do feel like as your friend circle grows and you grow in life, I think the people around you do tend to be more so on the same page as you with a lot of things. And I don't know whether it was the universe or what, but I came in contact with so many people, so many things, so many videos that totally confirmed many things that I had been saying for years, that I had been thinking for years. And I guess to give you guys an example, it would be something like, okay, so for example, I personally don't park my car on the street, right? Like, especially in major cities. I'm going to pay for that parking garage because I just don't like parking on the street for different reasons, right? But that's the gist of it. Now, let's say from 20 to 25, all my friends would be like, girl, you're tripping. Like, that's so pointless. Why are you paying for parking when you don't have to? Girl, if you don't just parallel park, oh, da 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 da. And it's like, okay, whatever. Y'all say what you got to say. I'm going to still do what I want. Then at 30, I'm literally hit with like a million people that are like, yeah, I don't park on the street. Like, yeah, I'm not parking on the street. Hey, by the way, you guys, what's the parking like? Because I'm not parking on the street. It's like the first time in life that like so many people seem to agree with all these things that I thought I was tripping about before, right? Now, that's more so a minor concept or issue, but it goes all the way up into like just so many different things. So I was happy to have that confirmation this year because for so long I felt like I'm just on a whole nother level of thinking. And I never second guess myself because I am the type of person, like, you can do what you want. I'm going to do what I want, whatever floats your boat. But what I say I'm going to do, I'm a rock with it. Like, you're not going to convince me otherwise because I know what works for me and what's best for me. But it was just good to see that, like, other people feel the same way. So that was a really good bit of confirmation. Outside of that, I would just say that 30 brings a strong sense of like ease and security. So if you have, and well, that's for me, that may not be everyone, right? So if you have utilized your 20s to the best of your ability, you have taken the time to really cultivate and develop friendships and relationships, you have worked on your career, you have done things that you really wanted to do, like maybe go to school, maybe get a trade or a license or a certificate, maybe buy a really nice car that you've always wanted, maybe invest in stocks, maybe have your first kid or two kids, maybe get married, maybe have buy your own home, maybe get some investment properties, whatever it is. If you have used your 20s to really embark on that journey of, I guess, creating or starting to create the life that you want, I think by 30, although you're not going to be finished yet, there's so much more that you have, planned and in store, but you will feel a bit of like ease and peace because you've taken those 20s to really get a jump start, really start, building that foundation for what you want to then amplify in your 30s, right? So I always say, don't waste your 20s. Of course, have fun. In my opinion, in your 20s, you shouldn't be locked into any relationship, situationship, kids, whatever. Like, use those years to do what you want to do, make mistakes if you're going to make them, correct them, invest in yourself, find yourself, play with different things, experiment, see what you want to do for work, figure out relationships and what you even want to do with that moving forward. Like I said, investments, saving, purchasing homes, doing fun things, doing things you like. Then in your 30s, use that as a foundation to build upon, because it makes things a lot easier when you've already done a lot of the hard work and a lot of the grinding in your 20s. Now, don't get me wrong. you still gonna be grinding in your 30s, 40s, and 50s if you want a really nice lifestyle. But when you do that groundwork in your 20s, I think you can feel that ease in your 30s. So that's what I'm saying. At 30, I felt a bit of like security and ease, knowing that I had put in a lot of work before I turned 30. Also, I just feel like you have a better sense of like self. Like, I know older people will always say like, oh, once you get older, you're not going to really care about impressing people. You're not going to care what others think. You're not going to like, be so self-conscious. Now, for me, I never was like that. Like I said, I always danced to the beat of my own drum. I was never trying to fit in. I'm very much so a leader. It's usually the other way around, that I'm not trying to fit in, but people are, following my lead. And so I've never really had that issue, but I do know a lot of people in their 20s, they are impressionable. They maybe don't know themselves yet. They are still maybe trying to find those friend groups or work things out with family, or having, issues in relationships, a lot of instability and stuff. And I think, at 30, you do feel more just like one with yourself. If these people can't act right, I'm not arguing. I'm not begging and pleading. I'm going to give you a few chances. I'll talk things out, work things out. But if it's just continuous chaos, like, I'm not fighting, I'm not begging, I'm not arguing, like, we going to give it a few times, a few chances, and then we're just going to let it go. Like, in your 20s, you be just scratching up a wall. Oh my gosh, I want this to work. Oh my gosh, can you see me? Oh my gosh, can you hear me? Oh my gosh, we got to do that. Like, you panicking. In your 30s, we're not going to do that no more. Like, you just feel a lot more at ease with just, if this is meant to be here, it'll flow correctly. It won't be stressing me out. And if it's not, then we just gonna, kindly let go of it, kindly release it. The next thing I would say that I noticed in my 30s is that, and this was kind of coming in at the end of my 20s, is that I don't feel like I need a lot of stuff. I am just so experience based. Like, if you give me all the money in the world, I want to have an experience. Now, don't get me wrong. I love fashion. I love a good little shoppy shop. I love a good shoe. I love some good accessories. I love food, dining out, drinks. So yeah, the money will go there sometimes. But I've noticed that I am just more infatuated by doing things and having experiences than collecting things. Definitely in my teens, like high school, I had every shoe with every shirt to match every jacket, to match every purse. Same with college. I feel like I was just always, granted, back in college days, we didn't have a lot of money to be shopping crazy, but I did feel like I was always like trying to pick up a few things for the spring or the fall or whatever, collecting all of these, like, y'all know the Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works lotions and sprays. I had like 600 of them, all these scarves, all these hats, all these lip glosses. And it's just like, now, even up into my 20s, like, I used to be balling out, okay? Like, shopping 300 here, 400 here, get online shopping every day of the week, probably spend $500 a week just shopping every season. Big shopping. I'm talking about summer, spring, fall, winter. $600 each time, if not more. And it's just like, I don't need all of this stuff. I've sat and watched myself fill up garbage bag upon garbage bag upon garbage bag full of clothes, jackets, shoes, purses, things that I haven't even worn. Still got the price tag. What are you doing? Then you try and go back and sell it to like the Plato's Closet or like Uptown Cheapskate or whatever. All these little thrift stores. Girl, the shirt costs $30. They want to give you $1. The jacket costs $60. They want to give you $5. No. So you end up wasting tons of money. If you can't sell it back, you end up wearing it once and then getting rid of it. And it's just like, it doesn't make any sense anymore. I don't feel like I need a whole new wardrobe every season. You know, obviously, I'm still going to shop here and there. If I see something cute and I really like it, sure. But I don't need all of these things. I don't need every shoe that I see. I don't need every bag that I see. Like, it just doesn't get me hype. And I realize, like, how useless and wasteful it is. So I have definitely stepped into that point in life where I'm just like, I'm not collecting things, I'm collecting experiences and good times. So overall, I feel like I'm going to think of something else after I end this video because I didn't make a list. But overall, that is how I feel about 30. I feel a lot more at peace, a lot more security. I feel very one with myself. I feel like I've gained a new sense of self-worth in dating and relationships. Definitely learned how to set my boundaries properly. Loving therapy, making a lot of progress there. Very happy with my friendships. Happy with the progress that I made. And overall, 30 has been awesome. I look forward to the rest of my 100 years on earth. And excuse me, I have been really slacking with the weekend vlogs, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I've been so busy. Like, you ever felt like your life is too busy for you? Like, you can't even keep up with the things that you have going on? That's how I feel. So, granted, I've been out and about and everywhere in between, but I have not been capturing footage for all these things. So, we just gonna take our L on that. I will get back to y'all with some vlogs in April for sure. And then y'all know in the summertime, I'm usually pretty good about it. But I guess we just gonna take that L for February and March and move forward because I really didn't capture the footage that I should have. And I've just been moving around too much to like really take the time to be recording and doing these videos. So I apologize for that, but I feel like I've been keeping y'all up to date with the pictures. So if you haven't already checked out my community tab, check that out because I do try to upload pictures of things I've done that week or that weekend every week. So I guess you can get a glimpse there, but I will be better. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.